Good morning, everybody. So I'm getting in the zone of reading a book in the morning time, and as I'm away from my family at the moment, this has given me a good opportunity to really be by myself and have some downtime. And so the book that I'm currently reading is called The 10x is Easier Than 2x, and I'm almost finished it. I've flown through it, and I'm just going to give you some of the key takeaways and how it's really positively affecting me. And so, number one, what I really like is that getting your mind right is important. And one of the things that really stood out to me is like the world happens for you, not to you. And this effectively is just the whole victim versus taking responsibility. And I've actually been going through some challenging times lately, specifically due to my bag, which still has not shown up yet. Um, and the long story short, I had some ingredients that are very particular for my business that I needed to get here to be put into manufacturing. And what do you know, it didn't show up. And so that has basically created a lot of mental fatigue, is what I could say, trying to figure it out, feeling just like, why me, all this like shitty attitude. And so now where I'm looking at it is like, you know what, this opportunity without this bag going missing, I wouldn't have been able to have this time by myself. I would have been in go, 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 go mode. And now I've actually done a lot of self-reflection, a lot of internal work in terms of like what I really need to do to take this business to the next level. And one thing I've definitely realized is I don't really have a solid admin. It's something that I've known over time, like you always get the admin, but I don't really have a solid admin. I've got someone sort of in Pakistan, I've got someone sort of in Oregon, but it's not really what I need. And I find myself doing these admin tasks, and this book is very much about focusing on the 80-20. So 20% of your business, 20% of your tasks are producing 80% of the work. And so I'm now looking at myself asking, where is it that I'm busy and that I'm not actually being productive? Another interesting thing in the book is talking about the like conscious downtime, which is what has effectively been happening to me right now. And I'm having a lot of ideas. I'm having a lot of reflection in terms of where I want to go and how we're going to take this business to like 10x's. And I wouldn't have been able to do that again without having the downtime. And not only that, but another thing I'll say is that like there's been a lot of internal judgment that I've had about myself in relation to what I'm not doing in the business. And now I'm recognizing like I should be the one making calls. I should be the one doing X, Y, and Z. But now I'm actually realizing that I've actually been taking my step into more of a leadership role, leading the business. And the judgment and reflections that I have of myself are really more from an employee-based attitude. And that is being helpful to me because, again, I need to have a positive mindset. I need to reflect in a positive way. And this actually leads into my next point, which they talk about this thing. There's another book called The Gap and the Gain. The gap and the gain effectively is it's almost a similar concept towards, taking responsibility versus victim mentality. But the gap is like you are constantly looking back at all the things that you should do. Prime example here is me talking about like, oh, I should be doing these things. I should be making more cold calls. Whereas the truth is that I've already done a lot of that work and I must be focused on hiring more people to do those tasks for me so that I can have more flexibility in my schedule, and that can free up more of you think about RAM in a computer, like I have a limited amount of energy in my brain, in my body to work and operate, and all of these extra tasks that I am taking up, which I've really begun to see is just a bit of admin. Like, Luke, can you get me the receipts for all these little things? Suddenly I'm the one looking for the receipts. I want to have, and I don't have a really solid admin that I can just, hey, can you make these payments for me? Can you book these appointments for me? Can you check my emails for me? All of these things that I don't want to do, I'm still doing. And so I'm recognizing that I need to actually hire someone that is the person that I need. Um, the other thing that it talks about is like when it comes to 10x versus a 2x, the 2x, you might say to someone, hey, I want to 2x my business. What do you want to do? And you could get all these different answers. But when you start to get into, well, I want to 10x my business, it helps to focus you in on exactly what you need to do, because there's probably only one way to do it. It's not going to be like, oh, Luke's going to make 2 times the calls. I'm going to make 10 times the calls. And we're just going to do it. And I used to have these beliefs. I've been very humbled over the years. And the same thing with like, one of the most humbling experiences I've had over my lifetime in business is running 2 businesses at once in an 8,000 square foot facility, hiring 15 employees, wanting to be the best boss ever by paying everybody what they want, by having the fridges stocked, by making sure that, it was a good employee experience. And then I nearly went bankrupt. I fired the people at Christmas. I had a nice Christmas party and spent a couple grand making sure everyone was looked after. And then I realized I couldn't keep them on. I fired them. I didn't bring on enough revenue producing people. So then I had all these people. Now I was the only sales rep. And then that led to me suddenly looking at the business going, oh my God, how am I going to do this? I've got 65K in overheads. I need to pay for all this staff every month. What am I going to do? Waking up, as I said, in the middle of the night in a panic. And I never want to go back to that place again. And it was totally self-inflicted. Like the lease that I had, I was being gouged by this person who was giving me the lease. And I said, give me 2 years, right? I look at this like, God, give me twice the amount of punishment, please. I haven't listened yet. And I also scaled. I really wanted to focus on getting the product as cheap as possible, but that doesn't really matter if you don't have sales. It doesn't matter how cheap your product is if you don't have someone purposely doing sales. So those are all lessons that I've learned. And so now my foundation, after regrouping and not quitting, I'll say I did shut down one of the businesses. I did continue the other one. And now, we're doing 2 million a year right now. And I am just want to take this to really the next level. Like if we're doing 2 million a year now, after all the pain and suffering over the past 6 years, I can take this to the next level. And I know I can take it to the next level. I have the belief. I know I have the power and the capabilities, but I need to be focused, clear. I need to have a clear vision. I need to stop all of the minutia of the business clogging up my brain. And then once I have that, and now I'm even thinking about just, these talks about like having necessary recovery days. You have recovery days for the gym, you'd have recovery days for the business too. And so I'm really figuring out how to be a better businessman. And I'm only doing that through, guess what? Reading more books and actually having some time to myself. I have 3 kids at home too. And so I have a wonderful wife who handles the house and the family for me. And, as much as she wants me home, at the same time, it's like, you got to go get it for the business, for the family. And she's an absolute rock. So I have my rock at home. I have my solid with 3 boys. I got my business here. So I got a business, 2 of them in 9-hour time difference. So again, all of these logistics of trying to get everybody on the same page has been incredibly challenging. And dealing with customs and all of these things has been incredibly challenging in terms of like trying to manage cash flow, manage customer expectations, taking orders, and then suddenly realizing, take the money, right? Take the money. I always take the money, and then realizing actually it's been stuck in customs for the next, whatever, right? Week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, just incredible stuff. So that's the book. 10x is better than 2x. I advise any of you that are looking into improving yourself, want to really take your business to the next level. Like the 2x is quantitative. It's like just do twice the work. 10x is qualitative. It's about hiring the right people, taking more things off your plate, having more clear vision, and just really setting the tone for what actually needs to happen. And sometimes that actually means doing less, not more, as contradictory as that may be. But you can give the book a read. My next one now is going to be Donald Trump. The Art of the Deal. And if any of you have been watching what has been going on with Zelensky and Trump, I mean, it's nothing short of astounding in just seeing how to get a deal done. And at the end of the day, what is that deal? Peace. So I'm not going to get off the Richter scale with this now, but that's what he wants, peace, right? And so I'm here in Ireland, and they're like, "Oh, you're such a bully." This is like, it's peace, though, right? Like all the other warmongers just want more murder. So anyway, I'm improving the art of the deal so I can be a better businessman, better leader, and take it from there. Thanks, everyone.